All right, let's just jump right into this because it's a wild story. How in the world does a single $27 product end up making six figures? I know it sounds a little bit like a fairy tale, but we're about to break down exactly how it happened. I mean, just look at that number, $121,000. And let's be super clear here, this isn't from some huge company with 100 different products. This is all from one single digital product.
And this is the guy behind it, Jonathan Hawkins. And what makes this whole thing even more incredible is that just 2 years before hitting this milestone, he was so fed up, he was ready to just sell the whole business. Seriously, he had an offer on the table and was this close to giving up on the whole thing.
So that's the $1 million question, isn't it? Or, I guess, the $121,000 question. How do you go from being completely overwhelmed and ready to quit to, well, this? That's the journey we're going to unpack. It all boils down to one major shift, moving from total, utter chaos to having real clarity. Because, before all the success, things were, frankly, a complete mess. And this right here, this is the classic trap so many entrepreneurs fall into. Jonathan started it all as a hobby, which means he didn't really have a serious strategy. So what did he do? He just created more stuff. He ended up with 19 different courses and was trying to manage 7 or 8 different sales funnels. He was trying to do everything all at once. And the result of all that complexity? Well, in his own words, it was absolute chaos that went absolutely nowhere. You can just feel the frustration in that, can't you? All that work, all that juggling, and it was just leading to total burnout. And the chaos wasn't just in his products, it was in his software. He was wrestling with ClickFunnels, ActiveCampaign, Zapier, and a bunch of other tools, costing him around $600 a month. He said it felt like the whole business was just tied together with bits of string. The fix? He scrapped it all for one single all-in-one platform.
And that brings us to the big aha moment. The huge strategic pivot he made was all about embracing something we can call the power of one.
So instead of trying to sell 19 different things, he decided to give it one last go. He just looked at his data and asked a really simple question. Which product has actually worked the best? He found his proven winner, and then he poured all of his energy into that one product, running on that one simplified platform. One product, one platform. That was the entire game changer. Okay, so focusing on one thing is the foundation. But how do you actually make that one thing grow? Well, this is where Jonathan's framework is just beautifully simple. He only focuses on pulling 3 specific levers for growth. And here they are. These are the only 3 numbers he obsesses over. Number 1, how can I decrease the cost to get a new customer? Number 2, how can I increase the average amount each customer spends right now? And number 3, how do I increase the long-term value of that customer? That's it. Every single strategy is designed to move one of these 3 numbers. So let's look at how he boosts that average order value. His main product, the front-end offer, is just $27. But then, right on the checkout page, he has a little checkbox for a $17 order bump. It's a no-brainer, one-click add-on. And then as soon as you buy, he immediately presents you with a $97 one-time upsell. Just like that, a simple $27 purchase can easily become way, way more. Now, we've talked strategy, but we have to talk about the mindset that makes all of this work. Because without this, none of the tactics matter. It's what he calls the fail fast philosophy. This quote, it's everything. It sounds completely backward, right? Instead of being afraid of failure, Jonathan actually runs towards it. He doesn't see spending money on ads that don't work as a loss. He sees it as buying data. He wants to find out what's not working as fast as humanly possible so he can put all his chips on what is. And here's what that actually looks like. In 1 month of testing, he tried 6 new ideas. 5 of them failed. That's an 83% failure rate. But that one winner, that little 17% slice, that's what drives all the growth. For him, failure isn't just an option. It's literally the most likely outcome of any experiment. And this is exactly why you have to test everything. Conventional wisdom in marketing says video sales pages always crush text-only pages. Always. But when Jonathan actually tested it, his original text page still converted better.
If he just followed the so-called experts, he would have hurt his business. Data always beats assumptions.
So, what's the big takeaway here for you? Let's boil this entire journey down into a simple path you can follow. Here's the blueprint. First, focus. Get rid of the chaos. Pick your single best product and one simple platform to sell it on. Second, systematize. Know those 3 growth levers and track them like a hawk. And third, experiment. You have to adopt that fail-fast mindset. See every test, win or lose, as a lesson. At the end of the day, Jonathan's success wasn't about adding more complexity. It was about being ruthless in removing it. It came from an intense, almost obsessive focus. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What is the one thing you could focus on right now to simplify everything and clear your path to growth?